melon just waiting to be picked.
All right, everybody, Willie B.M. Johnson here with you, Fooyah Magazine. From the underground to the mainstream is everything, is what we need to empower Generation Next. I'm here with a well-known, great movie producer, movie director, martial artist, Mr. Art Camacho. Give him a little brief intro. We talking to the young kids here, sir.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Art Camacho. I'm a fight choreographer, director, producer, and I came straight from where you guys come from, man. I grew up in the barrio, and I really just fought my way up to get to where I'm doing right now. I'm doing movies, traveling around the world, been in magazines, just having a lot of fun, man. The Lord's been blessing me very much, guys.
What was it that made you pursue this goal of going into the movies?
Two things. First, I discovered Bruce Lee when I was very young, man. Bruce was the man. He just blew me away. And secondly, I was getting into gangs and drugs, and I got beat up really bad one day by rival gangs. 5 guys jumped me. I got 11 stitches here in my mouth, and that turned me to martial arts. Because at first, I wanted to just beat people up. To be honest with you, man, that's all I wanted to do. I didn't care about the arts. I didn't care about the gis and all that stuff. I just wanted to get back at those guys who beat me up. And then, as I started learning the martial arts, I started really transcending that and understanding that it's not about fighting. It's not about fighting them. It's about fighting yourself. It's all about you. It's all about what the empowerment that you do. And my universe used to be the one-ways where I grew up. It was a small area, a bunch of one-way streets where all the gangs used to be. I grew up in this area there is my universe was the one-ways where I grew up at. And then once I started getting into films and martial arts, my universe became the whole world, man. It became the whole world. I've traveled to India, Germany, England, Singapore. And this is the little kid from the body, a little fat little guy who didn't know nothing about nothing. But I was very blessed with the Lord, martial arts, movies, and people like this gentleman right here. I'm serious, man. This guy is the man. I really, really admire and respect what he does.
I think it's so awesome when you talk about the struggle and how martial arts saved your life. One of the things that we recently did, we created something called Point MMA. Because I tell people a lot of times, I say, look, if MMA the way it was around when I was coming up, I would still be in the hood. Because the lifestyle of it support the lifestyle that I got caught up in and that you got caught up in. I believe that when we come from that sort of adversity, we want to break free from anything that reminds us of that sort of struggle. We don't want to walk around with our pants down. We want to walk around with our pants up. We don't want to walk around looking like a thug. We want to walk around looking like a professional. So what martial arts, especially sparring back in the day, because I know you done came up in that era where you go in the dojo, you couldn't get mad with the guy that was hitting you in the face.
Absolutely.
Because he was going to beat you up even more.
Absolutely.
And the technique was great. It was like through that level of adversity, you learn to respect that man that was popping you all the time, and you go home, you practice, and you come back, and you might scorn him, but he might hit you in another place. He might not hit you here in that journey. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Well, that's what we realize that's missing in the martial arts. In order for our kids to truly learn how to combat the bullying, to combat the violence, we got to be able to allow them to go into some sort of safe level of adversity, like sparring used to be. Because nobody really spars that much in their dojos. I mean, so I believe if we, with Point MMA, if we can capitalize on the momentum of MMA, what we call it Point MMA, are you technically ready? I think by being able to do it in a safe manner, helping kids grow more emotionally, not about the trophy. What do you think? I mean, does it?
You know what? I agree with you because I think sometimes we get caught up in the martial aspects. And I think a martial art should encompass everything. The art form, the technique, the respect, the honor. As a matter of fact, my instructor, Eric Lee, who's a Kung Fu master, to this day I still call him Sifu. I mean, he's my Sifu, period. I mean, just like your father, I grew up in an area where you don't call your father Joe or John. I call him Papa.
Yes.
I call him Papa and my mom Mama. no matter what, no matter how old I get, and as long as it's still around, that's my mom and pop. You know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of respect, and it's a matter of true learning a foundation. Because that's what got me out of this vicious cycle of gangs and stuff like that. Because if it was just about fighting, I wouldn't be here making movies. I've been so blessed to work with Steven Seagal, Don the Dragon Wilson. I'm telling you, I still can't believe that I'm living, even though I'm not this big superstar, man, but I'm living the dream. I'm living a dream that this high school dropout from the barrio can do, and that's I mean, what you do is phenomenal, and you inspire me, and I'm serious, man. I'm not just blowing smoke, I mean, this guy, if this guy will let me talk, anyway.
All black belt men.
But this guy is really an inspiration, man. He really inspires me a lot.
And I think that goes back to you, and I think in closing, that's what I say to every kid. I mean, I remember the times of living in the projects, my mom collecting a welfare check, and I come down the steps and the guy selling the drugs. I know that it was because when I made that mistake to go to jail, I begged and pleaded to God, if you give me another chance, I will never, ever abandon my dreams again. And because of God, everything that I do is for some little kid that struggled just like me and you. And I want them to know out there, I don't care what goes on. I don't care what somebody's saying to you. If you believe in your heart and soul and keep God first, you can do whatever you want to do. And look at this right here. This is what it's all about. But it's all about the character and the respect that we have for one another. I'm honored, sir.
No, it's my honor, seriously. I just want to say, guys, seriously speaking, man, you just got to believe and dream. In LA, we had these riots in the 90s. And 2 days after the riots ended, there was supposed to be some big Latin stars and people going into Watts to go in and do a little demonstration and talk to the kids. I was the only one that showed up with my 2 students. Everyone else was scared. I didn't care, man. I wanted to go in there because when they look up at you, you know what I'm saying? They see in themselves. They see themselves saying, "Hey, I can do it." And I'm telling you, and he's proof. And to a certain degree, I'm giving proof that you can do it, man. You can do it. You can dream and live that dream. The Lord gave us everything. It's just a matter of us really striving for that and working for it.
Yes, sir.
So, God bless you. Thank you. God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I want to thank you.